Hi, welcome to the English Academic Facilitator and thanks for tuning in. Here's Apali with another Pearson Edexcel International GCSE English Language B paper. Today we are discussing section A of paper 1 of 2019 January morning paper. Remember, section B of this paper is in another video and the link is below in the description box. So better watch that video after watching this. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Well, time duration on this section is 1 hour. Section A consists of questions based on 2 non-fiction texts, and first 3 questions are taken from text 1 and the rest is from text 2. This is text 1 and it's adapted from a lecture, and in this extract the writer talks about the importance of reading. This is the first 13 lines of the passage, and skim the text as quickly as possible to understand the gist of the section. Is all about the writer himself and about his passion of reading. Here he starts to talk about what reading does and what it's good for. Skim it. This is the continuation of the previous part. This section talks about how the children's reading appetite is destroyed. Let's skim. This section talks about the relationship between reading and empathy. Let's skim it as well. Now we have come to the last section of the talk, and it ends with a quote of a genius of all times who expressed his view on reading fairy tales for children. Let's skim it. Well, that is how his talk ends, and let's move on to the question now. Question number 1, using lines 1 to 9, state one way the writer says he is biased. So this is 1 mark question and it's a literal one so that you can grab the answer easily. So without wasting time, just refer to line 1 to 9 and quickly answer. This is the relevance section to find the answer. There are many answers and out of them choose any one. To give everyone an equal chance in life, helping people become confident and enthusiastic readers, supports literacy programs, libraries, and encourages the act of reading. So you can choose any. Question number 2, identify one of the purposes of the reading agency. Once again, it's a literal one and it carries 1 mark. So let's read the section and find the answer. You can find the answer from the section given. There are many answers and you can choose any one. Making things up and writing them down is one, and he has interest for people to read, and he helps libraries, librarians, and also he helps foster a love of reading. So you can choose any. Question number 3 carries 10 marks and you better write 8 to 10 points by supporting them with close reference to the passage. Make sure you include brief quotations in your answer. Question is, explain how the writer persuades the reader that it is important to read. So here I've gathered many points and you can use these points to write a very good answer. First one, he emphasized the value of reading by using the words obviously and enormously. And then use of lists, use of non-standard sentence structures and sentences, use of repetition, use of the charity, use of alliteration, use of personal address, unusual expression, and a colloquial and chatty tone. So you can write a very good answer by using these points. This is a sample answer I have written for you. In the opening of his talk, the speaker straightforwardly says he is biased with his argument, being an author and more specifically being an author of fiction for a long time. This emphasizes the fact by using two strong adverbs, obviously and enormously. Then he exclaims how he became a person who earns to serve his living simply by being an ardent reader. Then he expresses his true intention of his career as a writer with a list of his interests by using the strong adverb obviously to impress the audience that he uses reading to serve both children and adults. As a result of that passion of reading, he has become an advocate, a mentor, or a consultant for a reading agency where he encourages people to reading habits, libraries and librarians, and in short, wherever reading can occur. Supporting his point of view, he says that he is giving this talk in order to support the reading agency of which the sole intention is to give everyone equal chance in life, making people more confident and enthusiastic in reading. Having introduced himself as a role model, he then clearly drives his point home by using some techniques such as listing with firstly very real drive in order to suggest the enthusiasm generated by reading. Then he contrasts reading a book with watching a movie on TV or seeing a film in a theater. There you see what's happening to other people, but in fiction, using your own imagination, you create your own world and people it. And you see the world through others' eyes. By doing it, you start to feel everyone else out there is you. As a result, you become someone else, and when you get back to your senses, you are resurrected as a changed being. This fact really fascinates the audience, and the use of personal address you engages the audience, becoming closer to the speaker. The sense of increasing empathy created through reading, as the speaker says, feels things, visit places and worlds, gives an idea that you become a morally balanced personnel. Pointing out another advantage a person can gain through reading, he diverts the audience to another scope, that is, to become a global citizen. You need to understand shades of meaning while comprehending what they are reading. He winds up his talk with one of Einstein's quote, taking a genius as a role model who sees the value of reading habits from our childhood. The speaker manipulates the audience in a more persuasive way. So that is the end of text 1 questions, and now let's move on to text 2. The rest of the questions are based on text 2 and it is adapted from an article in the New Yorker magazine. Well, the first few lines are about American teens and their current behavior. Let's skim the section. This section discusses what research have confirmed about this change. Let's skim it. In this section, he slowly moves to the fact that how reading becomes one of life's blessings. Let's skim it. The writer concludes the article by making his suggestion to improve the appetite for reading among teenagers. So that is the end of text 2, and let's see the questions based on text 2. Here we got another literal question, so find the answer as quickly as possible. Using lines 14 to 18, name one thing that the writer suggests stops children reading. This is the relevant section, and I highlighted the possible answers, and you can choose any one of them. Sports, computer games, friendship, or smartphones. Question 2. In lines 33 to 39, the writer suggests some reasons why teenagers do not read books. Give 2 of them. So it carries 2 marks, and you need to find 2 points. The points are highlighted here. Very busy, TV, internet, games, texting, Instagramming, smartphone sense, books smell like old people. This is yet another 10-mark question, and you need to explain it with close reference to the passage, including brief quotations. Here I've given you 11 points and quotations to support the points in bubbles. And let's see them. Initial negative or critical image of teenagers sets the tone for the article. Example, like monks and druids, eyes fastened to their smartphones. And next one is dismissive terms used to describe what teenagers do read, like from everywhere and nowhere, scraps, pieces. Next one is use of organizations adds authenticity and authority to the article, like Pew Research Center, Common Sense Media. The use of the word show to describe the teenage attitude to reading. An implied criticism of teenagers' attitudes, like look at you blankly, doesn't flourish in many kids. Next one is use of a list to itemize all the distractions that teenagers have. Hooded, gathered around a table, leaning over like monks and druids. Use of negative language like frustrated, anxious, and angry. And use of conciliatory comments suggests the writer is reasonable, telling this is not a new story. And use of italics suggests otherwise. And the use of the ominous short sentence like, oh, so we would like to think. Use of positive language to describe the benefits of reading like life-changing, literally and spiritually immeasurable. And the last one is use of first person, like we have known it, most of us had imagined. Alright, now all the necessary tools are within your reach and you can write a level 5 answer to achieve the full marks. Got it? This is your checklist, and make sure you've analyzed all these things in your answer. Analysis of sentence structure, language structure, other language features, use of vocabulary, and you need to impress the examiner that you've got perceptive understanding of the text, and also how these are used by the writer to achieve effects. And also make sure your references are discriminating and you have clarified the points you made. Understood? All right. Now we have come to the end of section A, and remember the video for the section B in this paper has already been released. So check the description box below for the link. So we've done both section A and B, and hope these videos help you in scoring higher grades. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing and subscribing, and make sure that you click the bell icon for future updates. See you with another paper discussion. Bye-bye.